to a Scoring Co. NBA podcast. Today we'll be talking about our favorites to win the 2018-2019 MVP. So, Trevor, why don't you start off? Give me your top three.
I'm going to go with some bold choices here. All three of the guys I'm going to say have never won the MVP. And I just think that's the way it's going. The last three MVPs have all been different. 5 out of the last 6, all different guys, but with the exception of just Steph winning it twice. So I'm going to say Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving was injured for the latter half of last season. Very underrated coming into the season with a deep squad. And say they win the East, and say he puts up the numbers that he's very capable of doing. We talked about how the MVP is almost like an offensive MVP sometimes. You've seen Steve going way back to 2004 and 2005, Steve Nash winning it, which was very controversial. So I'm going to go with Kyrie Irving as my number one. Number 2, I'd say Anthony Davis. Each year the brow gets better. The guy's got a great attitude. Him and Mirotic looked great together the second half of the season and in the playoffs until they ran into the Warriors, of course. And I'm just huge on the brow. Now, if he gets traded mid-season, which isn't very likely, but if he does, that could skew some things because, you're adjusting to a new club. And I'm not even sure if anyone's ever won an MVP in a season in which they were traded. Finally, my last one will be Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard, tons of scrutiny on him. People are skeptical. He went from being extremely well-liked to people don't even know what they think of him anymore. And so it would be really cool if he came out and played well for Toronto. I know he doesn't like the cold weather, but he's got the defensive team in place to be very successful in the East. I do think the Celtics are going to take the East, but if the Raptors take the East, then you got to look at Kawhi for MVP. Obviously, the guys in the Warriors are all studs, KD, Clay, Steph, but they all kind of cancel each other out because their team is so stacked.
Exactly. Alec, who are your top 3 to win this year's MVP?
My Mac 3. Your Mac as good as new.
James and Russell Westbrook.
So Giannis, LeBron, and Westbrook. Touch on all of them. Tell me why you choose Westbrook, Giannis, and LeBron.
Last year, Giannis would have won it.
Keep going.
But then other people, he just stopped scoring, and his team wasn't doing well, and he just didn't win it. So I think this year he should just go all out and try and win it.
Also, mid-year, they switched coaches. They fired Jason Kidd mid-year, and I know he was a little bit upset
They
about
also
that.
did acquire Eric Bledsoe. It was a hectic year for the Bucks.
Yeah,
I feel like
a tumultuous season.
Yeah, he started off really well, as Alex said, and then it just kind of, with all the changes, Giannis just wasn't able to have the same success. So maybe with a little bit more consistency and growth on his end, it's very possible he contends for an MVP.
You got an easier schedule. You got a proven coach in Mike Budenholzer.
No LeBron.
Who won 60 games with the Hawks with a team of guys that had no incredible players on that team. No LeBron in the East, like Nico just said. And yeah, Giannis, and we know that he works really hard day in, day out. Guys in the gym, right? The guys getting extra reps in. So he definitely has the work ethic to take a huge step forward this year. He won Most Improved Player last year, didn't he?
There was talks about him winning back-to-back MIPs, Most Improved Player.
I'm sorry, Oladipo won it the previous year, but the year prior to that, he won Most Improved Player. And so everything's in place for him to do it. I like that pick, Alec. Great pick.
Okay.
And because of LeBron, because he's the best player of the world right now, so...
LeBron's one of your other picks?
Yeah,
So,
the second.
let me touch on LeBron a little bit. For me, there's 3 categories for MVP. There's the storyline, which is, why do we care about how you're performing? With Westbrook, it was because KD left. He wanted to prove himself that he could win without KD.
He had a lot of clutch final shots that year.
Yeah, exactly. The second one is wins. Your team needs to be able to win. There's only one player who didn't get a top 3 seed, and 1 MVP. So you need to get wins as an MVP. And the third one is stats. And that's kind of self-explanatory. To me, LeBron fills out every single one. Storyline, he's moving to LA, the harder West. Biggest market in the league. Stats, we already know LeBron gets the stats. Walking triple-double on some nights. And then wins, wherever LeBron goes, that team always gets wins. If he gets a 50-win season, you could definitely put him up there as a top 3 candidate. LeBron's always a candidate for MVP.
Especially, you're going to be able to kind of measure his impact on the Lakers when you look at their record last season and their improvement this season. So there's some tangible growth there if they are a top 4 seed, and last year only winning 35 games. If they can win upwards of 50 games and get a top 4 seed in the West, LeBron James has got to be the number 1 candidate for MVP. He also hasn't won it in 5 years, and I must admit, I kind of think that has some sway in terms of the way people vote. It's like, Westbrook won it last year, let's give it to Harden this year. Although I do believe Harden earned that. But I think a lot of people in the press voted for Harden this year because A, he was having an MVP caliber season, but B, he kind of got snubbed the year before.
Yeah,
and
he kept getting snubbed.
And he had never won it.
Come on.
Yeah. And, I think so. Wrapping up here, we'd say LeBron, probably the number 1 candidate.
Clean my Mac 3.
You got Giannis in talks there, Anthony Davis. You got Russell Westbrook. You got Kawhi Leonard, depending on how well he comes back. Do we have any sleepers, maybe?
Well, first we got to mention Kevin Durant. He hasn't won it since 2013, 2014. I think there's too many mouths to feed on the Warriors. It's great for team basketball, but not great for winning the MVP award. So that's one of the reasons we haven't really touted him too much as the future MVP.
Yeah, the only way I see a player on the Warriors winning MVP is if injuries happen and then, for example, Curry or KD leads them with an injured squad around.
Alec, would that make you happy if Curry won the MVP?
No, not at all.
No? Okay. So, couple dark horses. I think Joel Embiid could take a big step forward this season.
Especially with everyone having the eyes on Philly.
Outside, and I mean way outside chance, I don't know, Victor Oladipo, say he matches the improvement from last year and just surprises us again. But outside of that, I really don't see anyone outside of who we mentioned.
Kyrie Irving as well.
Chance.
Like you said, I didn't mention him when I was saying it, but Kyrie Irving definitely, because we already know the Celtics are going to be top 3. There isn't much of a storyline, but I feel like he could average up to 25, 27 points a game.
But yeah, I'm definitely rooting for somebody who's never won it before, because I always think it's cool for guys to win it for the first time. So hopefully Kyrie, Celtics fans, so this would sting a little bit, but maybe Kawhi, or definitely Anthony Davis from my end. That's who I'm rooting for.
So thank you guys for watching. Go check out our other videos. Like, share, subscribe, and have a great day.